Welcome, everyone. We're going to do a quick, evidence-based briefing today. We're taking the key research from Harvard Health and boiling it down into some really actionable dietary advice for protecting brain health.
I'm sure you get this question all the time from your patients, and it's a great question, right? They're looking for things they can actually do to protect their cognitive health as they get older. This whole explainer is really designed to give us a clear, concise answer we can give them. So the very first and maybe most important step in talking to patients about this is to manage expectations. The researchers at Harvard are really clear on this. We have to steer the conversation away from the idea of some magic pill or a single superfood. This quote right here, it's the perfect way to start that conversation.
So if it's not about one magic food, then what's the secret? Well, the main guiding principle, the thing we really need to get across, is that it's all about the overall dietary pattern, the big picture. And here is the core message, the one that makes it all click for our patients. What's good for the heart is good for the brain. It's so simple and so powerful because it connects brain health to something most people are already familiar with, cardiovascular health.
Okay, so what does this pattern actually look like on a plate? You're going to recognize this immediately. It's basically that classic, heart-healthy, Mediterranean-style diet. We're talking lots of fruits and veggies, legumes, whole grains, getting your protein from plants and fish, and using healthy fats like olive oil. And of course, limiting those saturated fats. This is the foundation for everything else we're about to talk about.
All right, let's break this down into some specific, easy-to-recommend food groups. First up, our number one recommendation, brain-boosting leafy greens. So things like kale, spinach, collards, and even broccoli, they are just packed with powerhouse nutrients like vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta-carotene. And the research suggests that these nutrients may really help slow down cognitive decline. The message for patients is super simple. Try to get in at least one serving of these a day.
Okay, recommendation number 2. Let's talk about that well-known connection between fatty fish and a healthy brain.
Fatty fish are just loaded with omega-3 fatty acids. But here's the really crucial part, the why. Research has actually linked these omega-3s to lower levels of beta-amyloid in the blood. And as we know, that's the very protein that forms those destructive plaques in Alzheimer's disease. So telling your patients to eat low-mercury fish like salmon or cod a couple times a week, that is a very specific, evidence-backed piece of advice.
Moving on to recommendation number 3, and this one is usually a patient favorite, berries. It turns out they seem to play a pretty special role when it comes to preserving memory.
So what's the secret in berries? Well, it's a group of compounds called flavonoids. They're the natural pigments that give berries their amazing colors. And research from Harvard's Brigham and Women's Hospital shows that these flavonoids can actually help improve and preserve our memory function.
And check this out. This is a fantastic clinical pearl from that very same study. Women who ate 2 or more servings of strawberries and blueberries every week delayed their memory decline by up to 2.5 years. Wow! I mean, that is a seriously powerful and motivating statistic to share with your patient.
All right, finally, let's round this out with a few other key players. That daily cup of coffee or tea, and the good old walnut.
So this slide kind of breaks down their different benefits. On one side, you have caffeine. We all know it gives us that short-term boost in concentration, but some research also suggests it might help our brain solidify new memories. Then you have walnuts, which are a fantastic plant-based source of an omega-3 called ALA. They're linked to better cognitive scores, but also to lower blood pressure and cleaner arteries. See? There's that heart-brain connection again.
Okay, so we've gone through a lot of great research, but how do we pull this all together into a simple action plan that a patient can actually walk out the door with and remember?
This is it. This is the takeaway. It's 5 simple, memorable steps. You can tell your patients, 1. Add 1 serving of greens every day. 2. Eat fatty fish twice a week. 3. Have berries a couple of times a week. 4. Go ahead and enjoy your daily coffee, tea, or a handful of walnuts. And number 5, the most important one, always bring it back to the big picture. All of this is part of an overall heart-healthy diet, which means it's a brain-healthy diet. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. We know this connection between heart and brain health is incredibly powerful. The real challenge for us isn't just knowing the evidence, it's about how we talk about it. If we can frame our advice for brain health inside that familiar context of heart health, we might just get better understanding, more motivation, and at the end of the day, better outcomes for our patients.